Hello. This is Alex speaking. I invite you to watch and listen to a new author's story on my channel.
When I caught my wife cheating on me, I was angry. I swore I would repay her in kind. We'd only been married 2.5 years. We lived normally and we didn't quarrel much. We both worked, we had enough money. Thought to buy a car, make Euro repair, go somewhere to rest on the sea with a beach of white coral sand. My wife already liked such beaches. After all, we are still young, and we have everything ahead of us. But just one single incident changed everything fundamentally. I'm 26, my wife is 24. At my wife's work, it was the chief accountant's birthday. I couldn't go, even though I was invited, I was busy at work. This was the first single time we went to a holiday or party separated. We always managed to attend events together. Once early in our married life, my wife couldn't go with me either. She was filling in for a coworker who was sick. My wife couldn't make it. Then I also warned my boss that I couldn't come to the anniversary of the firm without my wife. It wouldn't be fair. In the evening I called my wife and told her that dinner was waiting for her at home. A bottle of dry red wine and a gift. In the afternoon I went to the jewelry shop and picked up the order I had made for a ring, earrings and a chain. On all 3 pieces, the master made the first 2 letters of my wife's surname and first name and framed them with small diamonds. When my wife came home from work, I met her. I took her to the bathroom so she could clean herself up a bit, wash her hands. And then I took her into the hall, where there was a pot roast on the coffee table. A salad of mushrooms, a large scarlet rose in a vase of green checked glass, 2 lamps that shimmered with soft multicolored tones. My wife kissed me gently on the lips and we sat down to dinner. My wife decided to go without me this time. I hoped that she too, like me, would stay at home. By evening my colleague offered me to go to his wife to celebrate the anniversary. He said that he would finish without me, but would be delayed for a couple or 3 hours. Nothing terrible would happen, especially since no one was waiting for him at home. And it wouldn't hurt me to be near my wife. I thanked him and left. I did not warn my wife, I thought to make her a little surprise. When I arrived at my wife's workplace, the fun was in full swing. They took me in, poured me a fine, I drank and the fun continued. Except my wife wasn't there. They don't have a very big team. Looking around the office, I didn't find the technical director either. The others were all here. Something bad moved in my chest. Some feeling of inevitably bad. I don't know why, but I headed straight for the CTO's office. It was locked. I quietly approached a coworker I knew, my wife. Nobody paid much attention to me. I asked where they kept the duplicate keys. Said I was tired. I want to sit and rest a little in my wife's office, and it is closed. I found the keys in the janitor's room as I had been directed. Taking the key, I went and unlocked the office of the technical director and entered sharply, turning on the light. One look was enough. Everything was happening on the desk. The director slowly turned his head, made round eyes, and his wife looked out from under him, somehow unnaturally shrieked, jumped up and began to pull on her underwear. Men's and women's clothes were scattered around in a jumble. I had already left, caught a cab, and was halfway home when my wife started calling. I didn't answer, and then I turned off the phone altogether. At home I got a bottle of expensive cognac, uncorked it and drank half of it at once. Then he poured some more, took the flute, went into the hall. I turned on the TV and started sipping the cognac. I neither heard nor saw the TV. I was tormented by 2 questions. Why? And why? About 20 minutes later, my wife arrived. We live on the 2nd floor. I heard a car pull up to the driveway and quietly peeked out from behind the curtains. It was the CTO's car. When my wife came into the room, I asked her, why didn't she come in alone? And where was her favorite man? Why didn't he come up? I miss having a partner. I drink alone like an alcoholic. My wife shed a tear. She sat down at my feet, hugged my knees and babbled. Something about a mistake, an accident, that she didn't intend to cheat on me. It was just a mistake. That she'd gotten caught up in her feelings and it had all happened on its own, and under the influence of alcohol. That it wasn't her fault and it was an accident. I didn't ask how long ago or if it was an accident. I said that now I had the right to repay her in kind. My wife's tears dried instantly. She immediately began to explain to me that I couldn't do that to her. That she'd made a mistake, that her cheating wasn't even cheating. She had acted by chance and alcohol rather than by plan. But I intend to act, already planned and deliberate. And that's the real treason and betrayal. I must have laughed under the influence of alcohol and nerves. I laughed until my stomach hurt. My wife first looked at me as if I were crazy, and then she slapped me. With anger in her voice, she said that if I went for it, our married life would be over. That's when I got angry and said, "And how can I be sure that she at work will not lie on the desk of the technical director again?" I saw that anger twisted my wife's face. Through her teeth she said that she was responsible for herself and repeated that it was a mistake, an accident, that it would not happen again. But she no longer trusted me. I snapped, slamming my palm on the coffee table so that it toppled onto its side. Both of the lamps on it fell and shattered. My wife jumped up and down in shock and surprise. I've never behaved like that before. The frightened wife went to bed. I settled down on the sofa. I took a plaid, a pillow from the closet, undressed and lay down, staring at the TV. I stayed up all night. I don't know about my wife. During the night I drank all the cognac, and early in the morning I just left the house. I wandered around the city for a long time, then went to the store and bought a new smartphone and a new SIM card. I took the flash drive and SIM card out of the old one. I threw away the SIM card, all the phone numbers were on the flash drive. I put the old smartphone in the inside pocket of my jacket. When I got home in the evening, I found my wife furious. She immediately began questioning me about where I had been all day and why my phone was off. I replied that I had been enjoying life, going to a restaurant. This was immediately followed by an emphatic question about who I took to the restaurant. What was her name? How old was she? Was she married or not? Was she pretty or not so pretty? One day at lunchtime, I stopped by a small cafe. I met a cute girl there. We started dating. 6 months went by like that. The moment came when I came and told my wife that I intend to repay my wife in the same coin. Just like she did to me at their chief accountant's anniversary. There was an immediate scandal. The wife got into a fight and even managed to seriously scratch my face. I told her to take her belongings, gifts, and whatever else she deemed necessary and get out. The apartment is mine, and I don't want her here anymore. What did I hear back? That I'm weak. That she'd never once had an orgasm with me in all our married life. That my pathetic penis is very small. That I'm not a man myself, but a wimp who can't forgive some insignificant mistake made by the woman I love. That I don't even know anything about love. That I never loved her, because when you love, you forgive. And I'm not even capable of such a small thing. Then I loudly told my wife that when you love, you don't forgive, you don't cheat. Apparently, my wife had nothing to say, so she was silent. She refused to leave. The next day I took the next day off. I went and filed for divorce. While my wife was at work, I changed the locks. When I got home from work the next day, I found a note in the door from the district police officer asking me to go to him. So I went. Turns out his wife tried to break the door open. Called the janitor and a locksmith from the Housing and Utilities Department. The locksmith already wanted to open the door, because not a single key from a huge bunch of keys did not fit my door. The janitor seemed more intelligent and called the police. My wife didn't have a propiska, and the policeman refused my wife's request. Although he knew that we lived together, but the law is the law. I've been single for 2 years. We live with the girl I met in a cafe. We get along well, but I am afraid to start a family, in case something else happens.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Write a comment what you think about this story. See you soon.